What is the most important thing in marketing? Well, we often talk about the most important C in marketing because in 1996, Bill Gates said, content is king. That's where that came from. Most people don't know that, but it came from an essay he wrote in 1996, and he declared that content is king. And we can totally understand why in 1996 content was king, because the internet wasn't yet awash with the billions and billions of bits of content that we now have to wade through all the time. And actually, in fact, slightly before that, I was doing a master's dissertation and I discovered that the future of publishing, which is all about content, was going to be totally about search and find. And that's kind of borne out over the last 2 decades. Search has dominated for a very logical reason, because as more and more content was produced, we needed smarter and faster ways of getting to the most relevant content. And after content was king, I think for a brief while, we noticed that context was king. And context is the key. When you've got an absolute sea of content, context becomes everything, doesn't it? Because in a world full of content, what you need is the context, the relevance, the location. Where is the content? In what format? How can I get it? Is it free? Is it paid for? Who's written it? What format's it in? What format can I consume it on? The recent explosion of video means that video is really valuable, but video without captions is 80% less valuable, because 80% of people watch video with the sound off. So context has become almost a layer above content. And we've seen more than just context being king. We've seen more than just content being king. We've seen authority being king. Who is the most reputable authority, expert voice to talk about a topic? Who should we be paying attention to in an absolute, ocean of content? What are the voices we need to pay attention to and listen to? Who has the right authority to be able to tell us what matters? Who is editing the world for us so that we can better understand and better appreciate who to listen to? And the reality is that even beyond authority, there is more. Recently, Gary Vee told the world brilliantly and beautifully that the most important word in marketing is 4 letters. And it's C, so it begins with a C, which we love because, content was king, then context, and now C-A-R-E, care. Gary Vee brilliantly said, I've never heard it put so simply, that the most important marketing strategy you can have, the best marketing strategy for your business, is just to care. Care about your customers, care about your team, care about your business, care about your brand, care about the ethics of what you supply, the service, the product. Care about the reality that your clients and customers and users and prospects face. Care, care, care. You can't care enough. You can monetize care, which is brilliant, but it's not enough for us. For us, there is a new C that's king. We've seen it for a while. I've been tracking this probably for about 10 years. I felt it viscerally at first. It became obvious to me. It's what we craved. It's what we wanted. It's what everyone in the business sought after and asked after. I think the first time it was verbalized to me was in the context of a client telling us, we just understood buzz. We understood how to put a business into the middle of its marketplace, into the middle of its conversation. And so for us, the most important C in marketing, the most important strategy in marketing, the most important metric in marketing, everything points at conversation. Conversation is the king. Ultimately for us, that's all we all want. We want relevant and timely discussions to take place. We want our market to talk to us. In 1999, the Clue Train Manifesto, which I absolutely still love to this day, here we are 20 years down the line, and those luminaries who created it are just absolutely still bang on about what they said. It's an amazing piece of work. 95 theses about how the internet is going to change, was going to change in 1999, was going to change the way the world does business and the way the world interacts. And the first thesis was markets are conversations. Markets are conversations. Meditate on that. Your market's a conversation. You're either in that conversation or you're out that conversation. You're either in the middle of that conversation or you're at the back of that conversation or in a cul-de-sac somewhere. You're either in the Piccadilly Circus, downtown Times Square of that conversation, or you are in the suburbs chilling out and relaxing, and no one's coming to visit and no one's having a conversation with you. And ultimately, for us, that's what it's about now. Our objective is to create conversations for our clients, to create strategies and brands and all the elements that go around everything that needs to happen so that we can create conversations for our clients. That's what we crave for ourselves, and that's what you need to be craving for you and your business. And I say for you and your business because you've got a personal brand and you've got a corporate brand. You've got a business and you've got you. And ultimately, being in the middle of the conversations around you and your business are what fuels us as human beings. Since the beginning of humanity, really, we've congregated, we've gathered together, we are social animals, and we've done that so that we can converse, so that we can swap stories, so that we can survive longer and live better. And it's still true today. The only difference today is we don't congregate around a watering hole so much, maybe a water cooler, and we don't congregate around a fireplace so much. There are other examples of fireplaces today. Twitter's a fireplace. Facebook is a watering hole. So focus on the conversations. Where are the conversations in your market? Who's having them? Who's influential in that conversation? Who should you be getting next to, near to? Who should you be listening to and paying attention to? Who should you be serving and giving to in those conversations? Thrust yourself into the middle of your conversation and you absolutely cannot go wrong, because ultimately everybody wants to be near the king.